Halle Bailey is the perfect Ariel. She is better for the role than Jodie Benson and Sierra Boggess. And by the end of this video, you'll see why. My name is Lesage Singing, or at least that's my handle, and I've been trained classically for 15 years. I've sung my entire life. I have a degree in this. I've traveled and toured in the United States and in Europe. All this to say, pedantic reciting of qualifications aside, I love singing. Specifically, I love Halle Bailey's singing. I also love Jodie Benson and Sierra Boggess. Just don't think that their voice matches up for Ariel as well as Halle's. Very quickly, let's get this out of the way. Halle Bailey's voice is amazing, and her technique is amazing. Okay, so there you go. Some meteor singing and then some very delicate floating singing. Totally sounds great. My contention is not whether or not she has good technique, because I think objectively that proves she has very good technique. What I'm getting on about is that I think her voice, her natural voice, makes her a better candidate than the other Ariels that have come before her. But why? How does that work? To explain that, we're going to talk about vowels. What are vowels? Bro, that's easy. It's I, A, E, O, U, and sometimes Y. Shut your mouth, Chad. Why don't you explain to them how acoustics work, how resonance work, how frequencies work, because that's what we're going to get into. I'll let you handle it, bro. Changing your vowels changes your vocal tract, your instrument.
Change the shape in a simple construct like ya, 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 ya.
Disney princesses tend to be, well, young, very young. And so the problem being young is that a reliable professional singer is usually going to be, experienced and not young. Jodie Benson was 28 when she started, and that's not like archaic or anything like that, but that is a decade past being a teenager, right? So, the point is this: if you are older, you have to make changes to sound younger. Now, I think we can agree that the changes that Jodie Benson made sounded great, right?
What's a fire and why does it? What's the word? Burn.
Like, no one's gonna be mad about that performance. She's an amazing, amazing Ariel, the first, the original. Well, in movie Disney form. So this technique, simply put, is you can go ahead and swallow, right? And then what you're going to feel is that this part of your neck is going to go higher, right? And when it goes higher, you can actually keep it there.
Look at this stuff. It's making memes. Wouldn't you think my corrections?
An extreme, like we just heard from Jodie Benson, or it could be used subtly because there's not much of a need to do it to an extreme, which we also heard from Halle. Little town, such a quiet village, every day. Yes, as a specimen, I am intimidating. Now that is a dramatic difference. The same thing applies, whether or not you're going for a gentle tone or you're just doing a straight belt. Oh my god, I love Sierra Boggess so much. She's so good. If you haven't seen the Mermaid, the musical, you should probably just watch it, just for that. She's incredible. But, once again, not young. So the point is this: Halle is young, doesn't need to change anything about her voice. But then that goes into the question, is she experienced enough, right? She's young. Does she have the experience?
Spell it. T-A-T-A Nisha. Okay, remind me to never ask you to help me with my spelling word.
With some bloopers and some fun time.
Connection have to do with us.
Theirs is rooted in a shared cultural experience because both of them are Black.
Bro, rejected! No one likes you. Acting and portraying a character on film is radically different than it is in a theater. We only need to look at someone like John Travolta, who's an amazing theater actor, but doesn't always translate well to film.
Okay, fine. We'll stay the night and then we'll get gas in the morning, okay?
That kind of looks silly on film, but think about it if you're in a theater, right? That would read. A really good example of this is Grease.
I can't. Well, that's cool, baby. I mean, you know how it is, rocking and rolling and whatnot.
She has been touring, recording, been on film. I mean, we're talking decades, plural. And not just decades, but decades of the right thing to be good on film. John Travolta was in theaters, was in not film for quite a bit of time, and that reflects. Let's be real, young John Travolta can get it. Every second of production that you waste is incredibly expensive, especially on something like a Disney movie budget. And that is why musicianship matters.
Look at this stuff, isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete?
Isn't it neat? It wasn't, isn't it neat? So every T wasn't there. It was, isn't it neat? Isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? And that T on complete, it was almost like a super soft dental T. Collection's complete. It wasn't complete.
Look at this stuff, isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete?
Halle Bailey has been doing covers. Halle Bailey has made albums with her sister. She is aware of what modern musical phrasing sentiments are like. Their music was too complex for the average ear. They were told that. Now, to be fair, it's not like people are saying this out of nowhere. If we look into Cool People, one of her and her sister's more popular songs, there's some chicanery going on. A major scale, I'm pretty sure we all know how to do this, from bottom to top. It's do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, la, so, fa, mi, re, do. Pretty easy, right? Chords are made by picking notes out of the scale that you are in, the key that you are in, and then putting those notes together. Do, re, do, re, mi, fa, so. The beginning of Cool People starts out very simply. It's the same chord over and over again. Then, out of nowhere, and this is gonna blow your mind, they do something completely naughty. The example I had before, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, put together, that's in the major key. What if I told you that they were in the major key in 1 second, and then they were in the minor key in another second, and then they went back to the major key? That's called mode mixture, and it's awesome, and I'll let you hear it. And I'm sorry, I'm very enthusiastic about mode mixture. It is actually one of my favorite sounds in music. It's so good. Here it is, and don't you dare turn off the TV.
These old days, I don't feel that my
Be honest, would you have thought that that is complex? It is. It doesn't sound crazy though, right? It sounds haunting, and it sounds beautiful, and it sounds just a little bit different. That's what mode mixture does. And what I love about it, it's not pedantic. You can make a chord progression with a bunch of mode mixture and be like, and that's what I get, a lot of composers when I was in conservatory. That's how they would act. Like, oh, my stuff is complicated, it changes keys. You don't make music and you don't use music theory to sound impressive. You do it because it is artistically gratifying. It communicates something. This is the next point, and it is my last point as far as musicianship goes. They make people feel. They move people. My face might have gone viral, being a sobbing mess. People found that clip so relatable that it went so viral on Twitter that at my job at Trader Joe's, when it was the pandemic and I had my mask on, someone recognized me, to which I said to my boss, I really thought I'd be making more money if this were to ever happen. And now we have to talk about the elephant in the room.
Just listen to that voice. Isn't it neat?
Really?
As some praise the bold move,
Yes, bold! Disney going out on a limb to say, we have black friends.
emphasizing the pic online, questioning whether a black woman could portray the fictional red-headed princess.
Halle Bailey opening up in a new interview about the racist backlash she faced after being cast as Ariel.
Now, you might not have noticed, but I am very white. My doctor actually just called me, says I'm struggling with chronic caucasity, which I didn't even know was a thing. So, I got someone else to talk about it, because, you know, like, white, so fucking white.
The media that we consume programs us, especially the media that we consume regularly. And we're highly programmable when we're little children. When black kids or brown kids or any marginalized group of people, when these children don't see themselves represented in media specifically, this makes them feel insignificant, which leads to low self-esteem and low self-worth, feeling like you are not capable of excellence, of greatness.
I think she's brown.
Does she look like you? How does she look like you?
Well, she's brown. Well, she has brown skin.
Positive representation matters. And that's what Halle Bailey is doing right now. She's being a positive representation of a black woman in Disney, helping to shape and form the minds of these young children of all races. Because again, it's going to impact everyone who watches this. Of course, it's going to impact the black children to see their own beauty and see their own excellence and their own capabilities. But the non-black children too will be impacted in a positive way, because it helps to correct the programming that they may have that is negative towards black people or black women. The global standard of beauty is fair skin. So Halle Bailey being a brown-skinned girl playing a Disney princess, it's impactful as far as how people perceive beauty. But I don't want to keep this on just a beauty level. To everybody who just thinks that they hired her because they want to put a black person in the role, have you heard her sing? So I just know that this representation is going to be globally impactful, and we're moving in the right direction. Thank you so much for watching. Love, light, and locks.
Keisha Charmaine has a bunch of different lock hair care product lines. She's a brilliant businesswoman. I really look up to her in a lot of different ways. But if you're interested in hair care, specifically for locks, go check her out. She's got a lot of stuff. If you made it this far, thank you for watching my stupid face for as long as you have. If you like this channel, if you like this kind of content, it is time consuming. And so in order to facilitate that, I have a Patreon. And what I do with Patreon is every single tier gets to request an analysis of different singing, starting with 30 to 60 seconds, all the way up to an hour. So go ahead and check that out. Link down below to my Patreon. And again, thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, I guess.